Thank you for joining me. My name is Tobel. Welcome back to another Starsector Let's Play. And we're a little bit dry. Yeah, we actually wound up getting to Beta Hero, which we'd already explored, and ran out of fuel. And I was able to use the distress call function, and somebody came and gave me some fuel. Of course, I paid them because that's the honorable and right thing to do, and was able to have enough. I basically just pointed us in this direction until we ran out again, but we did coast into the Samara sector. So we are going to fuel up here just a little bit. What did I just buy? I just sold something. What did I sell? Goodness, abort that. We're going to buy some fuel here. And actually we're a little low on supplies, so we'll grab some supplies as well. And we'll head back to the Jangala in Corvus. It seems to be home away from home right now. It's where we got most of our items for storage. And I'd like to start looking into really getting some heavy... Ooh, it's random. Some heavy freighters and other types of ships that can help us with salvaging operations. Because I'd like to start exploring, not salvaging, because we're just right here. I'd like to start looking into what it's going to take for us to find a new home. And I think the best bet is to kind of work in a circle in the systems that are closest to the core, because number one, the distance to current existing worlds affects the accessibility, so you want to be somewhat close to other existing systems. So that's one thing. But the other thing is we can really put get a lot of supplies and fuel on our ship and be close to home, so that we can use those supplies purely dedicated for surveying purposes. And we'll go dock at Jangala. Mission-wise, I think we don't have anything that we've accepted, so we have no responsibilities to the world at large right now. There's definitely a lot of exploration missions out there, as well as some outstanding bounties. Now the fleet log, I've actually reversed what I said we'd do with the last time. Last time I said let's check off whatever we've explored, and I'm actually going to leave this as, let's leave it as an exclamation mark if we don't know if we've gone to any of these items yet. And that way we can uncheck them, and a little bit easier to read. Okay. Alright, let's go back to Jangala, see what they've got for sale here. I kind of have been thinking about wanting to turn in my Venture class cruiser for something a bit different, like the... oh, it's gone. The light cruiser. Is this the Falcon? Ooh. This is a battle group 14 design, apparently. Excellent. So it has the 14th battle group modification, which I have no idea what it does, but hey, that can't be bad, right? And what better way to serve the hegemony than to have a nice paint job? Let's do that. Let's grab this light cruiser. Ooh, 100,000 credits, not a problem. It's funny because the light cruiser is even cheaper, or you know, it's supposed to be kind of down in performance level from some of the other ones, but let's grab it because I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit stronger with those that modification. So what does this do? This gives us heavier armor plating, 7% reduction in speed, and an increase of flux throughput and capacity. Cool. I'm okay with that. Can we see the hull? Okay, so the armor rating has a flat 100 applied to it already. That's nothing we have to do. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Let's put this, slot this in here. I'm going to sell our Peerless. I'm going to sell the cruiser we have, the light cruiser, or whatever that thing is. We're going to sell you. Okay, we're going to refit the light cruiser, assign ourselves to it. One of our captains there did have a level up available, and we'll work on maxing out your existing skills. Same with you. Awesome, let's see what we got. We've got a ship that's got a 270-degree shield, which is nice. That means we can really get stuck in and kind of overextend ourselves a bit and then still have the maneuvering, like right down here we have maneuvering jets, so we still have the maneuvering ability to get out of the fight. Okay, so we've got 2 medium ballistic hardpoints, and I already kind of think we want to put... I love Thumpers. Thumpers is a good option. Oh, there's so many options here. The Needler is anti-shield. It does more damage versus shields, so it builds up flux. We've got dual flak cannons, which are point defense. And then we've got Maulers, which are weak versus shields, but better versus armor. Okay, we've got some medium energy turrets, some small missile hardpoints, and small energy turrets. These are 600 ranged blasters available at this location. All of these do the same damage versus shield or hull. I want something that maybe is close range that just shreds, just absolutely shreds armor. That's 400 per second, 400 DPS. Those are shields. Arbalest autocannon is anti-shield. What was that called? That was a assault chain gun? Love that. That's a lot of damage up front. What I'm thinking is... I don't know what I'm thinking yet. Or we could use our... kind of do a duel, like standoffish. Use the Needler to wear down the shields, and then close in and finish them off with the amount of blasters we have. We have one available. It's kind of ugly. We don't have a lot of turrets available at this location. So let's look at our missiles first off. Missiles, we can do 3 at a time. It really is only going to fire 3 because it's a pod of 3 missiles, and it's only got ammo of 3, so it's a 1 fire. More Swarmer missiles. Maybe that could be our option. We take our Swarmers. Swarmer SRM. Swarmer SRM. I mean, I know it says anti-small craft, but these do okay damage versus a ship with shields down. Nothing like, you know, we're talking about the bigger ships. I don't think it's going to do that much damage. We've got a one-shot here. I'm really not a fan of the missiles that have one-shots, although that's probably because I'm not very efficient yet at what I'm doing in the game. You know, you really want to make your shots count. I'm not quite there yet, so I like the safety net of having more ammunition to waste. Swarmer SRM launcher. We've got some Annihilators. Those are the unguided ones we looked at. Let's try some Annihilators on here for funsies. Uh-oh, where'd he go? Okay. Now, these are dumbfire, but if we're close enough to our target, it won't matter. So we've got something that damages armor well. We've got something that's more generic, except we've only got one of each. So we could put point defense here. Both of these are at range of 600, and they both do damage to everything. So it's 7. Oh god, that flux cost is disgusting. I don't think we're going to be able to fit both of these on here. Let's take a look at these options up here. So what if we do go with something that's kind of... Oh, here's the assault chain gun. Yeah, I just think we want to have something that's more that helps with both. Or we have an alternating one. One that deals with shields, one that deals with armor. Heavy autocannon is a 800 range, but does heavy damage against shields, right? So we could pepper them with the autocannon from far away. That's 800. This is 600. These are 1500. So we could keep up a good amount of fire with the heavy autocannon. Maybe just something with an autocannon is not bad because that lets it. These are Arbalest autocannons. What do we have on here now? We have. This is the heavy autocannon, 800, 214 DPS. This is Arbalest, which is still anti-shield, 700 range, 150 DPS. but it's kind of a, I think it's one shot does more damage to it. Let's try 2 Arbalist autocannons on here, right? So this will wreck shields. Our blasters will just do generic damage, and then our Annihilator rocket launchers will do damage focused on armor. And if we're constantly firing our Arbalists, we're either going to be doing hull damage or building up that flux cost. So we're paving the way for our other stuff to hit. Let's take a look at the weapon groups. We do have some stuff back here. They can do point defense. I want flux distribution for sure. I want to do... We have a lot more items now that we've been unlocking some mods, which is nice. What else can we do here? So many options. I wouldn't mind... Again, I think I've tried this before. This is burn level. Ooh, this is nice. Augmented field drive. We had the question before, if maneuverability is a direct correlation to movement across, like make your ship faster. Maybe we'll do a trial with it and a trial without it to see if we can tell a difference. I want to be able to have higher maneuverability though. I want to get in and kind of do a lot of moving about, trying to dodge. This is a nice buff for, again, that's that point defense AI, which does more damage to missiles. I don't think we need soft flux. I'm not too worried about soft flux right now. I would be worried about high flux. I don't think that's a thing we can get in mod right now. So maybe just flux capacity. That does increase it by quite a bit. And then we put the rest of the points into flux dissipation. It's not going to save us when we start popping away with these blasters. Oh, the blasters we have is just a little much. What else can we put on here? Maybe the standard old... How much would it cost to put on... This is the integrity, right? 15? Okay. Let's put reinforced bulkheads because I always like that one. And we'll go to the weapon groups and let's do the autocannons on 1. They don't generate too much flux, so we can leave them on auto fire. Okay, we want the mining lasers on auto fire. I don't actually know if that even needs to be a thing or if they'll fire automatically, but I think you have to have them on their own group. Let's do 2 things. I want to have... Oh, you can only put them on 1 group. Yeah, we'll manually control these because if the AI starts firing this group, I mean, that's... Our flux is just gone. You know, it's definitely just gone. So let's do a simulation. I like to mess around with something like this. See how we feel. I love this shield, by the way. I love how big this shield is. So we've got maneuverability thrusters. You're able to rotate very quickly. Maybe that's what maneuverability is, and side-to-side strafing. We've got... Hell, we could start popping away at his fighters here. What do we have for missiles again? The Annihilator rocket launchers. We have 50 rounds of those. Oh, that's right, they're dumbfire. I'm gonna do 1 volley from the blasters. Okay, going back to autocannons. We have less flux than they do. Their flux is starting to keep their shields down. We're gonna start peppering them with missiles. Okay, our autocannons are still firing. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm gonna do another couple bursts here from the laser beams. Okay. It's kind of this really fine dance between flux and, you know, damage here. We're really weak on the damage side. I mean, we got the flux up real high. But these rockets are not as impressive. So maybe we replace these with something with a little more oomph to it. And I just have to get a little bit better at dealing with when to fire the missiles. I'm not really super impressed by the blasters either, because I feel like these things start firing and you're just done. I mean, you're done in terms of flux. So, or we go with something like the... We have thumpers here? We don't have thumpers. Alright, let's try something really OP. Something really strong. We've got 750 damage, 1000 damage. $4,000 damage. These are one single torpedo, so 2 torpedoes here. I just feel like if they happen to get their shields up, it's just enough to, you know, knock that out, and then that's one particular thing wasted. Harpoon, MRM. I love the Reaper, the damage level on that. 1500 twice, but it fires 2 at once, so we could fire a max of 4. Let's look at that one more time. The Reaper does 4k, 751k, okay. The Sabot SRMs do shield damage. Hammer class torpedo does 15. 2 of these. What's different between these two? I don't think there's anything different than these two. Let's try the dual pod of Hammerhead. We'll see if that makes a difference. Weapon groups, again, we're manually controlling those. I'm not impressed too much with the Arbalest autocannons, though. What if we do this? What if we put a Needler for the anti-shield part, and we put a assault chain gun for the, and then we're a little bit more micro-y, right? So we'll bump everything back a notch. 1, 2, 4. Auto fire. Heavy blasters again here. Missiles will be still here, but I'll put the chain gun here. And we'll put the chain gun to auto fire and the heavy needler to auto fire, and we'll see how that works out. Alright, let's do a simulation again. The only reason I picked that ship is because I've done a lot of simulations when I first started this game, so I'm kind of comfortable with how fast or slow I destroy this particular, not the mining pod, the Venture class ship. Long reload on that, but it is doing a nice amount of damage. Okay, we're letting our... Oh nice, the assault chain gun just straight up, you hold it down and it goes crazy. We're really too far away, but we can take out some of these other ships, I think. Alright, I've got my finger almost ready to go on the trigger for missiles, okay? We're launching our missiles. They got 8 up before we even got near it, but we're going to push in. We're going to auto fire our pulse lasers, and we're immediately overloaded, of course. This particular variant has these just nuclear missiles that are just waiting to go, and as soon as you overload, you're just toast. I mean, I know not everything's a one-on-one, right? Because you're going to be in the middle of your fleet, so I kind of prefer more all-around, like more, you know, things that damage, like the Needler. I think Needler damages, well, Needler damages hull, I think. It doesn't even affect armor as much, but heavy autocannons might be fun. So many choices here, folks. So many choices. This is a bit too close on range, I think. I'll just stick with the Arbalest autocannon, and I'll stick with the this is 133 per second, so 200 damage per shot. What about our good mortar friend? 110 times 2. Alright, we'll do that. We'll do something like this. This is pretty generic. I'm gonna change these blasters out to, like, I want to change all 4 of these to something similar that can do steady, like a pulse laser. I mean, something like that's on top of our original ship. Like a pulse laser does just pretty standard damage, I think, across the board. So we'll stick with this for the moment. Weapon groups, we'll say everything's the same, and those are on auto fire. Okay, we've got flux distribution, auxiliary thrusters. I'm going to take the auxiliary thrusters off. I don't think they're doing too much for us, so I really wish there's a straight up engine performance, like a max speed increase. This increases the range of ballistic and energy weapons. I like it, but I think I'm going to put the rest of the points into flux dissipation and flux capacity. And we'll save the rest of this for just better gear when we find it. Okay, so we're kind of average on this as a flagship, but it's got decent shield. It's going to let us get stuck in a little bit if we can even catch up with everybody. Oh right, that took a little bit. I think we've been here for like 15 minutes. Sorry about that. And that's part of the fun about this game is the level of customization you can do is really, really addictive. So you can find yourself, it's like, starting a game with heavy customization for your character's face, and you're just sitting there for hours, a la, Fallout 4, or if you're into The Sims, something like that. Let's grab another frigate, because I love frigates. I love those frigates in particular. Let's grab a civilian transport, because we're a little bit over because I sold the Venture, or whatever I did sell. And how do you do? Large missile, medium ballistic, medium missile, small missile, 5 small ballistic. You're a midline, you cost what, 20 supplies per month? How much fuel per jump? 3 per jump? I think I'm also going to sell this tug because the cost of the tug really started to hurt us last time around. I know I've got some big ships in this group, but it did hurt a lot in terms of how much fuel was being used up. Let's also grab another phaeton. Do we have any that aren't damaged? Just because I'm OCD about that. Cool. Do we have a freighter? We do have a standard freighter. It can carry 300 cargo. This heavy freighter can carry 900 cargo, but it is it's not too terrible. I might grab this if we're going to start doing a lot more exploration. And holy crap, that's a lot of cargo. I might even sell the old cargo ship just so we can limit how many individual ships we have to keep track of. So we're sitting on 5 escorts, 5 frigates, 2 destroyers, a light carrier, a light cruiser. Let's auto fit you for close support. Sure, sounds good. No commander. We will auto fit with free OP. Wait, what? So there's just nothing else you can put on here that you think is good? I guess not, actually. There's really not a whole lot else there. Oh, the unstable injector is what increases the ship's top speed, it looks like. But reduces weapon range, and it's not really bad, actually, if we really wanted more top speed. But it's not much top speed. It's only 25, 20, 15. Yeah, I don't know what else. I guess it's fine to just leave some points not there. Here, we'll just do that. Efficiency overhaul. God, you really have a lot of stuff. There's so many things to do. Here, we'll give you some more fuel, I guess. And let's do the standard. Well, that's actually a good idea. We should start looking at the hull mods that we can use for civilian ships, because we don't really need flux anything, but you could put, hey, extra berthing, right? This is a cruise ship, so that would be a great thing to put on this kind of a ship, and then maybe fill it up the rest of the way. Our fuel tankers, you could add in fuel capacity here, so we don't really, again, we don't need a lot of these extra things. It'd be nice, but it's not necessary because this ship doesn't go into combat. If it's going into combat, we've made a bad choice, right? Because at that point, these are vulnerable, we've been jumped. The entire idea, I think, is to avoid those situations at all costs. All right, so we've done that, and how about, yeah, we could put one bunch of converted hangars here and launch a ton of fighters. But we won't do that. We'll do expanded cargo holds, which increases the capacity there. Do we keep that? Do I have to do it again? Alright, let's look at our fleet now. What are we at for storage? Nice. It definitely did increase quite a bit across the board. You need about... Here's another thing to keep in mind. We're going to need about 1,000 civilians or 1,000 crew once we start trying to colonize. So we will need to buy another transport ship and... I don't know what the difference is between this and that. I guess this is just for maybe RP purposes. This is for Marines or something like that. But we'll probably grab another civilian transport at some point because we want to have enough crew to both drop off for a colony and then still maintain our existing fleet. So we need 460. Oh, I guess we are okay. We'd be a little bit short if we were full. But, you know, that's fine. We can still get another civilian transport down the road. I'm not interested yet in doing that because I think we need to find a good system first, and we need to save this money for buying up goods that we're going to be using in our adventure to explore. We did pick up a beta core again, and we picked up some gamma cores, which are nice. Our storage here is still looking pretty good. Can I learn any of this? I can't. We have that Class 5 survey data. Hellbore, yeah, I like to keep things in storage. It's just nice to supplement the existing station's weaponry. And we'll buy out all of the gas and stuff we can here. We still have way more than enough heavy machinery, I think, to do than anything would ever need us, or anything we'd ever have to use it for. We'll drop extra heavy machinery here in station. Hey, we still have our lobster. That's what's really important in life, right? We can continue to buy out the markets here. The crap is that? Must be a large... Yeah, we couldn't fit it on our other one. We are buying out pretty much all the fuel and supplies we can. We're sitting at 700 supplies, but I do want to start heavily surveying systems. So I'm going to fill up on that. We are just burning through our money right now, but that's okay. That is okay. Alright, we are a heavily laden fleet, right? We've got full 2,000 fuel, 1,700 supplies, way more troops than I really even need at all. So we are going to... Let's explore. Let's finally do some dedicated exploring right around the core worlds. So, have we explored anything whatsoever? Let's see this. Are there any planets worth surveying that we haven't already? You can sort by type. I'm searching for planets that are in unclaimed space because I don't want to fight any. I don't know if that matters or not. Like if there's a planet in Corvus that they haven't colonized, but it's in their space. I don't know if that causes friction later on, and I don't want to go to war over that. I want my own system away from the hustle and bustle of core life. So we've got 2 Tundra planets. What about value? Can we do it this way? We can, and there's only the water planet here that we surveyed a while ago has the highest amount of value. And I guess that's just because it did have the ultra rich ore deposits, and it had the ruins. So I was told that ruins are super important for your colony because it can just do so much for I don't know if it lasts forever, but it does help out your initial colony a lot. So maybe that's a good target. The only problem is it's pretty far in the Pandemonium sector, which I think is like, isn't this like the edge of space over here somewhere? Oh, look how far that is. That is not going to be a great one for our first colony. So let's come south a bit. Let's go, we'll go right here first, unexplored system. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do a little bit of exploring. I won't do a ton of stuff here, but we'll do a couple systems on this episode. And what I'll do is I will probably, I'll end the video, and then if I come across anything that's worthwhile, I will start a next video up. Otherwise, I'll give you a summary at the end, and we'll go from there. But I do think I want to spend a little while doing more exploration-focused work. I mean, we can definitely go back to bounty hunting. That's my plan down the road, but I really am curious about finding a good system for a colony Once we have an idea of where the colony is going to go, we still can probably go back to bounty hunting because we'll need to have a good fleet, enough to good enough to protect it from pirate raids. So that might include a battle cruiser. I don't know if that's too big, a battleship rather, or if we should just go for a nice fleet of cruisers. All right, so we've got nothing fantastic here. I'm actually just going to go right to the jump gate because nothing looks good in this initial survey. And unfortunately, remember, we did not get the remote survey ability because I have to get one more point in after another level up. So we'll have to wait for another level up to get that skill. But we are making progress, and that's what matters. So much fun. I'm so curious about the colony system, but I know that things can happen. It's just, again, I hate always comparing one game to another, but it is similar to Mount and Blade because when you first take a city or you declare yourself a faction in Mount and Blade, you basically piss everyone off. And unless you have really good ties, I believe you wind up getting war decked pretty quickly on. And so you have to defend yourself from multiple factions attacking your brand new existence, basically. So it's one of those things that I think that's similar to. Okay, I wonder if this is just going to be a fleet of dormant. It is a fleet of you guys can attack me if you want, nothing special here. Volcanic gas, barren, volcanic, rocky. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this system either. I know it's using like 18 fuel per each time you jump into a system. But that's okay. And I would love to just get this barren. I don't know where I came with that one. I want to get this remote survey skill because that way I can just pop into a system, pop the remote survey, and have a much better idea of what we're looking at. But I'm on a mission to find traditionally habitable planets. So I'm looking for Terran, water, jungle worlds is what I'm kind of looking for. I guess desert at the same time. Desert is also habitable. They tend to be hot, but that shouldn't completely, cause us to overlook them. I'm thinking barren worlds aren't going to be all that habitable. Ugh. Let's skip this one and go over to the outer system jump point. I guess we could just do the transverse jump, but it does cost a little bit of CR when you do that. It looks like I don't think it costs CR when you jump naturally. No. So we are over here. Wish they'd have a different symbol for where you're at. Sometimes when you're looking at all these bright stars, it gets a little bit confusing. What do we got? Was that for this system? Oh, it was for this system. Got to be a little careful in case there's a fleet out here. This is a barren world and a desert world. Let's do a ping real quick, see what's out here. I don't have anything. I don't think I'm going to get too nosy in this system just because it was a medium level warning beacon, which I think I've seen before to be around aggressive, much bigger fleets like the dormant fleets. This is a nav buoy. Here's that remnant fleet. You're actively pursuing me. Oh, bother. You're about to do an interdiction pulse, which we could probably turn on our heels and burn out of. What do you have? What is this? This looks like 3 standard mesh ships. It looks like... So do all 3 of those carry 1 flight of fighters? Is this just 1 big battle cruiser? Is that all it is? Do you guys want to do science again for maybe the end of this video? Let's do that. Let's do a save. I'm pretty confident I can, if needed, burn out of this. And maybe that's the best thing to do is burn out first, make sure we're safe, and then do a save. Let's save anyways. We're right here in case I screw this up royally. Alright, we're saved. Let's go ahead and target this ship, and we'll see what they've got. Let's let them interdict us. Oh, crap. Please stay dormant. Oh, God. Please stay dormant. Maybe he's confused, and he thinks that those other ships are going to help him. Oh, God, thank you. Okay. His other ships did not wake up, so they're not coming to help. This is a drone ship cruiser, drone ship carrier, drone ship. Right? Let's look at the 3,500. 12,800. That's not horrible. I don't think that's impossible for us to destroy, especially with our bigger fleet that we've got. I want all my light ships to go to Waypoint Alpha. I want my 2 destroyers to escort the carrier, and I want the carrier to come to me. Alright, let's let them come to us. I'm going to kind of lean towards our left flank here, and I want to start picking them off as they come in. I want all of our wolf classes to kind of really dodge in and harass. There actually is a harass command, which is kind of fun. Ugh. I don't like how many fighters there are around here right now. If we start getting targeted by the fighters, they could do a decent amount of damage. Okay, this ship is exposed, and it could be kind of a feint, but let's jump in while we can. These 2 guys are in a good position to do that. Let's send everybody on this one particular ship. I'm going to burn towards it, target it. I forgot what we even have on us right now. Let's just go ham here. I'm on our missiles, so I'm controlling the missiles. Missiles away. And I missed once, and he pulled back. So I'm going to pull back as well. I'm going to start dueling with this ship here while our fleet is focused on that overextended ship. Hopefully it doesn't get knocked to all hell and back. You are in a bad, bad spot. You need to GTFO right now. Yep, you're fucked. Good job. Good job, friend, captain. Did you make it out of there? I think that any minute we're going to see a wolf class come over and be disabled. Did you make it out? You're so dead. Let's see if we can help. I still want you to just go as far away as possible. You're a little hurt. Let's have you guys gang up on this. This destroyer can help out with that as well. The lights are going to go try to rescue our other friend, but I think he's about to pop because he's got fighters all over him. I think this is a win for us, but we are going to take some losses here. And don't we have our heavy? Let's take a couple shots with our heavy guns here. Oh, they do decent damage, but boy, look at that flux build up. Let's finish it off. Nice. Well, Vent, did you manage to escape? You are a hero. I want you to retreat. Like, just GTFO. You are not in a happy place. Okay, all of our other ships, our other wolves, are ganging up on these 3. I think these are the like frigate classes. I think they're close to being frigates. Maybe we actually have our guys come. Okay, let's. Did I screw that up? Okay, so we have to wait for the command points to build back up again. So, ooh, the carrier's not in a spot that I want. Let's hope these guys are okay. I'm gonna burn and turn and try to help these guys finish off the drone ship here that's kind of wounded. I'm just gonna come in with the heavy guns and just unload. It looks like we're swarming it just fine. We'll say those bursters are doing decent damage for sure. Okay, that's done. Let's go try to help out our allies. We've got 0 command points. You better not have come back in the fray. Where did you go? Our wounded ship right here. We're about to get a command point back. I'm going to tell these guys to come back to me as soon as I can. Okay, I can see the importance of having command points come back to you now. God, you're still pursuing him. I'm going to send those guys to rescue these 3 to rescue this one because he's just trying to GTFO and out of the system here. Can we do our maneuvering jets? I still can't tell if that makes us faster or not, to be honest with you. Alright, and our escaping ship. Oh, you're a phasing jumper, bastard. I think our ship can get away, though. Hey, you leave him alone. You leave Brittany alone, sir. Okay, are we anywhere near another ship to fight? Alright, we'll let that adventure happen, and I might go try to intercept these other 2. Man, those even though I was complaining about those medium blasters doing a lot of flux, using up a lot of flux, that's they hurt. When they hit, they hurt. This is the part I hate when you're in the lead of a, you know, and you can't do anything about it. Let's do a full assault here. Everybody should be as aggressive as possible. So no more messing around. And we just started getting the CR limit for the time on the deployment. We have peak performance. We still have 392 seconds of peak performance. Oh, it says remaining time, but that's probably the starter time, right? Alright, I think we got that last ship. Did we? There's still someone hanging out down here, it looks like. This is the guy that went and chased our ally. You will pay. Oh, I wish I was in a wolf ship. One of the cruisers that I've seen is one I like because it has this burst engine. It does take your shields down, but man, can you get across the map in a cruiser quickly. Not my favorite. It doesn't seem to have as good of weaponry and other supporting things on it, but like if I could have that on this ship, I'd be pretty excited. So these do make you faster. Okay, so maybe maneuvering jets specifically say they give you more maneuverability, which apparently is directly related to your speed. Just watching this fight down here. Come on, guys, you can do it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Alright, we're burning in here again. He's gonna come in and hit him, so I think I'm gonna do. Just ram this guy. Alright. We're in range of blasters, and we will mess his day up if he ever stops running. God. Went to the very corner of the world, but he finally got destroyed. So this is what the medium... Oh, I was hoping to get a core out of that, but I'll take the other stuff. The medium warning... Because we're right next to a medium beacon. What is this? Can we squeeze by you guys? Maybe they don't come alive until you piss them off with something. Bit more enemies than I think I want to mess with right now. Let's jump out of here while we still have our wits and our lives about us. Okay, so that was our first system, our first or second system of messing about. Ooh, we've got our promotion. Hey, remote survey. That's what we want. So I'm going to go crazy here a little bit, and I'm going to check out the rest of this constellation in between videos, and if anything interesting happens, I will start up another video, and we can follow along and try to continue our search for the next, or the first station in our first colony in our faction's history, whatever faction we are. Maybe something Roman themed. I'm always a fan of the Roman era, so maybe something like Nova Roma or something like that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.